to another episode of RiseVT TV. My name is Brian Kluke. I'm the Rise Vermont Wellness Specialist, and we're here at one of our parks here in St. Albans, and I'm here with a very special guest, Andrew Grattan. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Hey Brian, thanks for having me.
So, we're here in a park. You're in St. Albans Rec, right? So tell us a little bit about your title, what you do for the city.
Yeah, great. So I'm the program manager for the rec department here in St. Albans. I work here kind of managing and developing different programs for all ages throughout the community. So this is actually where the rec department's office is. We're located here at 39 Barlow Street. And we also have all sorts of great facilities here for the public. Some of the facilities we have would be the tennis courts that you see right behind us that are open to the public throughout the summer. Basketball court we have here. You can see the playground for kids in the background there, which is all open to the public. And behind you here, we also have a baseball diamond and large field area, all of which are open to the public. These facilities are open dusk to dawn throughout the summertime. The playground is open in the winter as well as the field. We try to keep the court areas closed up in the wintertime, but throughout the rest of the year, they're open to anyone in the public who wants to come enjoy them.
Awesome. So it sounds like there's a lot of recreating that can be done here. This is a great green space. I mean, I look at something like this and you've got bases set up here.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it just has to be, softball, baseball, what have you. If some group of friends wanted to come and play, frisbee or set up a disc golf, something,
yeah,
would that
definitely
be allowed?
Totally allowed. Currently, softball is using this space. They usually use it after school around 3 to 5 o'clock for softball practice. But we also run a lot of programs out here. I start my Little Sluggers program for 4-year-olds. It's an intro to baseball, and that starts in early May. We also do many soccer programs out here in the green space for kids. I have another one of those starting up in May as well. But we run our summer day camp out here. They use these facilities for everything that's not just baseball or kickball. They do all sorts of different games and play out here in this facility. And yeah, anyone from the public is welcome to come participate and use the facility and space however they like.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I look at this space as well. Something I like, thinking about parents and their kids is, these bleachers or pens, if you will, aren't only for, games and teams, but they look like, this set of bleachers behind me, but they can be used for parents, if they're dropping their kids off. And probably similarly over there, if their kids are playing, of course, it's always encouraged as a parent, play with your kids. But if they're not and they're on standby, it's you're right there with your child as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a close knit kind of.
Great sight lines too. So if kids are playing over on the playground and you have kids that are playing over here, you can see straight over to what's going on. The playground is fenced in. It has 2 gates on it, so there is that added sense of security with that as well. There's an outdoor bathroom as well, which I forgot to mention. That's open. We will be getting that open in the next week or so. It's not open in the winter, but it is open throughout the summertime.
That's what I was gonna ask.
And that's open to the public throughout the afternoons and evenings. So till we close the park at dusk. So.
Until you close.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, again, a lot of different things. It almost looks like there's a frisbee over there now. So starting with the tennis courts, you mentioned there's a lot of programming here, but it's also open to the community. Now, I know different tennis courts operate different ways, so if it's mid-July, it's a beautiful night, and I want to come with somebody to play tennis, can I just show up, or should I sign up somewhere?
No, there's no sign-ups. It's totally open.
Okay.
Show up and play. So we'll get these nets set up in the next week or so, and they'll be open throughout the summertime for people to use, and it's first come, first serve. So if there's no one here playing,
no pun intended.
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome to come and use the courts. People are very friendly with splitting the courts, and if there's people there and you want to get in, there's no problem with that.
Okay.
In the mornings, we have a group of pickleballers that usually come out and play, like on a beautiful morning like this, nice sunny morning. They'll come out and play pickleball. They are lined for pickleball as well. And same with the basketball courts. We do programming. We have a Wednesday night pickup league for adults on the basketball courts. We have kids tennis programs throughout the summer that are taught for all different ranges. So we use this facilities not only for our programming, but for anyone in the public who's welcome to come and use them.
This is fantastic. I mean, almost literally endless things. And what I like here is, as I'm looking at the park, there's one bike rack here, and as I mentioned earlier, there's actually another one over on Barlow Street itself.
Yeah.
This area is really centralized to the city. It's bikeable. You've got bike racks to keep your bike while you're here. Plenty of parking here for anyone who wants to show up. Now, one thing you mentioned before, I just want to retouch on. You mentioned outdoor bathrooms.
Yes.
How would somebody Are those unlocked? Dusk
They
till
are
dawn when
unlocked.
Okay.
Most of the time, we did have some issues with that last year, but we'll start it again this year, unlocking them throughout the day while we're here, and until we have any issues, they'll remain unlocked until the courts get locked back up at dusk.
Okay,
Yep.
That's good to know. And
Yeah.
would it be the main door you'd go in for those? Or?
There's actually an outside door outside the building. There's a green door right over there, and that's actually the bathrooms right there.
Specific for the bathrooms. Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, there's kids that show up here. They'll bike here with their friends throughout the summer. They'll come play baseball, play kickball, show up, play basketball. If I'm around and you don't have a basketball, you're welcome to come into the rec department and see me. We have all of those types of things. I'm happy to loan basketballs to kids who don't have them, tennis rackets and balls. We have so many different things at our disposal, and I'm happy to lend anyone that doesn't have that type of equipment to use here. So.
Oh, that's fantastic as
Yeah.
well. I don't know that a lot of people know that you have that type of equipment.
Yeah.
Now, one thing just to clarify, if someone showed up on a bike, group of kids, even parents, and they wanted to get some equipment, they'd go in. It's the third floor.
Yep, our offices are located all the way up on the third floor there. We are in and out a lot during the summertime, so there's a good chance you may not catch one of us here.
Okay.
But if I am here, I'm always happy to loan that stuff out.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Tons of programming here at Barlow Street, and plenty of opportunities to recreate. Is there anything other programming that you'd like to promote or talk about with this facility, or is that?
So we also, like I mentioned, we do run our summer day camp out of here. We have about 70 kids who spend the morning here doing all sorts of different play. And we're also part of the federal free lunch and breakfast program. So this is a site where kids throughout the community can come and get free breakfast and lunch. Anybody, there's no questions asked. You show up, you can get free breakfast and lunch through the federal free lunch program. And so anyone who wants to participate in that is welcome to stop by throughout the whole summer and participate in that.
Well, that's fantastic bonus as well.
Yeah.
Now, one key thing I think here, if a parent's watching, or perhaps a kid, and they're going to talk to their parent and like, oh, how do I go here? Or they want to be part of a program. Where would they go to sign up?
So there's a couple different ways they can do that. They're welcome to come by the office and visit us. We love having visitors. They can give us a call. Our phone number is 802-524-1500, and my extension personally is *268. And we also have a website, www.st St. Albans, ST not spelled out, and stalbansrec.com. So it's kind of confusing, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So website, by phone, in person.
Yeah.
Multiple different ways to get connected here as part of the community. Now, one last question, just in terms of logistics. Is this specific to St. Albans, or if a parent wants from Fairfax, Montgomery, Berkshire, wherever?
So our programming is open to everybody that the rec department does. There is a residential rate and a non-residential rate because the residents do support the rec department through their taxes.
Right.
But this facility is open to anyone to come participate and use every aspect of this facility for free from any community, even out of state if they're in here visiting.
Yeah.
Like some of the people visit Hardack or visit this facility from out of state, and they're encouraged to do so, and we're happy to have them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. This is a fantastic park, tons of stuff going on, tons of different ways to get involved. As we get into this nicer weather, please utilize this park. The grass is already turning green, which is fantastic. A lot will be happening here to transition it and get it summer ready. So now we're here at Holton Park here in St. Albans. This is another beautiful park managed by the rec department. And this space is much bigger. It looks like there's a lot more to do here. Let's go through it one at a time. Tons of courts, tons of green space, and a variety of things to do.
Definitely. So similar to Barlow Street, but like you said, there is a much larger green area. This field was actually redone by the St. Albans Steelers last year. It was in desperate need. There was a lot of issues with potholes, and it just was not a flat surface, so they redid it, crowned it properly, reseeded it and everything for last season, and it's coming in great, and great place to play. So large field that can be used for all sorts of different sports. Ultimate Frisbee. I know that there's some adults that come out here and play pickup football in the winter as well as the summertime. So starting off with that's one of the great aspects of this park. We also have 2 baseball diamonds here. There's one over in the far corner there, and then there's one that we're standing on here. Well, one of those, if not both, are used this time of the year for the St. Albans baseball program. I think they run a T-ball program off of one of them, and another younger kids one off this one. Over there next to the baseball diamond, we also have a dual basketball court. So at Barlow Street, we only have 1 basketball court. Here we have 2. these courts get a ton of use down here throughout the summertime, and they are open right now starting throughout the summer for use in the public. There's also a double tennis court here like there is at Barlow Street. Like I mentioned previously, those nets will get put up in the next week or so. This green structure here that you see is the Steelers structure that they use to store their equipment. They run a snack bar out of here. There's also a public bathroom here that's open to the public throughout the summertime. And then what you see behind us is a great playground that was updated recently. This playground is a little bit more of a kind of the next step up of playgrounds for kids that are a little bit older. The Barlow Street playground is a little bit more of a toddler, say maybe 3 to 6, 7, 8 age range. Okay. This playground is a little bit bigger, a little bit more features for older kids. So if there's kids that are a little bit older in your family looking to do some things, this playground may be a little bit of a better option for you. Some of the trees that we installed to provide shade for the park hopefully will grow in the next few years and do just that. We also have a newly installed edible garden that came in 2 years ago and was slightly expanded last year. Josh Laro was a huge part of that, and there's all sorts of different berries there, as well as a sign that kind of shows what is in the garden, tells people that it is okay to pick and eat things that are in the garden, and just try to provide an intro to kids about showing them where their food comes from and give them an opportunity to kind of pick their own food and eat it straight from the tree. I mean, there's a slight disconnect with some kids with that, going to the grocery store and just getting their food and not really knowing where it comes from, and we wanted to kind of provide them an opportunity to realize like your food most of it comes from the ground, and that you can just pick it and grow it yourself and eat it. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's clearly a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of similarities to Barlow Street Park in terms of accessibility, it sounds like, but also opportunity to play and participate in different activities. Yeah. Now, are some of the same kind of principles applied here in terms of dusk to dawn? We're talking it being open, or is this more kind of open whenever?
It's same. All the parks in St. Albans operate dusk to dawn. Okay. So everything here is open to the public. Like I said, first come, first serve on the courts, but people are usually welcome to bring you in if you're just coming in. Fields, as long as the Steelers and other programs aren't using them, as well as the baseball diamonds, if they're not in use by the programs that are running, then they're open to the public. And same with the playground. People are always welcome to come and use them at their own discretion.
Yeah, this is fantastic. And you'd mentioned the trees. It sounds like that's a little bit, expanding on this park. Are there anything else that this park is going to expand upon in this next coming year, next couple of years?
So I'm a member of the St. Albans Parks Commission as well, and that's one of the things that we're kind of working on is developing a master plan for Holton Park, a vision, trying to develop what our vision could be and what it should be for this park. Without making minor changes here and there, kind of develop a grand scheme and then make our changes from there so that we're not doing things and then coming back a year or two later and canceling them out and changing them. Right.
So almost having this grander vision, but taking it slow, one step at a time.
Exactly.
And it looks like the trees are part of that. When you look at this big open space, it absolutely would be nice to have a little bit of shade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the playground structure definitely gets a little warm in the summertime, so hopefully in the next few years when those trees grow up and blossom that they do provide that shade for everybody.
Nice, excellent. Yeah. Is there any other programming? Now, would this work the same way as the other one in terms of signing up for programming, the same kind of resources, or a little bit different down here?
Just because Barlow is a little bit closer to the rec department, I tend to run most of the programming up there. Okay. But there are organizations, like I said, the Steelers and St. Albans Baseball that do use this facility for their programming. So.
Okay. That's fantastic. Yeah. Now, I'm going to assume, but I'm going to ask anyway, this is a dog-friendly park?
It is.
As well?
Our parks are dog-friendly. Dogs need to be on leash when they're in the parks, just to protect other patrons and kids from their dogs. And we also ask that people pick up after their dogs as well, which is expected in any of the parks in St. Albans.
Or more or less anywhere you go.
Yeah, yeah.
And I noticed there looks like a dog station there.
Yep.
And there seems to be one over there near the parking lot as well.
Same at Barlow. We do have dog bags located throughout the park to try to make it a little bit easier for people to pick up after themselves.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, Andrew. This is another fantastic asset to this community, and I hope it the utilization of it increases and increases year after year. As this park continues to expand, it sounds like it's only going to get better. It's already fantastic to start out with.
Yeah, the grass is turning green here too, and spring is coming, so we hope people get outside and enjoy some of the parks that St. Albans has to offer.
Thank you, Andrew, for being on today's show.
No
One of
problem.
our park highlights, and we look forward to seeing you next time.